All right. Hey, welcome back, guys. So we have some answers here, which is cool, but I promised earlier to show you how to get a dynamic primary key. So let's go to our PHP My Admin. Now, let's say I want to know what the primary key is for this particular table. I can run a query to do that. So let's go to the SQL here, and what I can say is select keys from, and this particular table is answers, where key underscore name, put that capital K there, key name is equal to, and in brackets let's put primary. Let's just capitalize it like so. So select keys from answers where key name is equal to primary. That's our query. So let's try and run this. Oh, it says there's a problem. Yeah, so the reason it has an error here is because of select. It shouldn't be selected show. So show keys from answers where key name is equal to primary. So let's hit go and let's see that. Okay, so this is what is returned. Key name is primary, and so it returns an array because I think there could be more. No, there can only be one primary key, so this is all good. And let's see here, how do we get, this is the column name right there, that's the column we're looking for. So I'm just going to copy this. So let's come back to model.php in here. So I want to create a function over here inside model, already existing functions. Let me just put it at the top here, and I'll call this one protected, since we're just going to be using it from inside here, or you can say private, that's fine. So function, I don't know, with get primary key, you can call it anything you want. We need to be able to specify the table that we want to get from. And so what I want to do is, okay, so what I want is to create a query. First of all, the query is equal to, and this one is show keys from, and whatever table that we've been supplied, where key underscore name is equal to primary. Close that and save. Let's just capitalize this just for the heck of it. Uppercase, maybe even these two. Why not? Show uppercase, even the where close. Now I'm just wasting time. Sorry about that. Okay, so show keys from table where key name is equal to primary. So we will get the result here, but let's do a db is equal to new database, because we need to read from the database anyway. So db query, I want to use that. Let's add our query in there like this, and let's say I don't know, we can call it data. It doesn't really matter because it's only a variable for inside here. Now we're going to assume that if we don't get a primary key here, if we don't get a result, we're just going to assume that the ID is ID. So what I will do here, I'm just going to say return ID like this as a string. Let's say ID like that, just as a backup. And then we're going to put an if statement and say if is array, let's say, or maybe we just say is set. We go directly to if is set, and we use data 0 like so, and we do that. Or in this case you can say if not empty, you can do this. Same thing here, not empty, we'll also check if it actually exists or is set. And yeah, is empty does two things. It checks whether something is set, and at the same time whether it contains any data. So in this case, if we say if not empty, oopsie, why, okay, so I'll say return, and I will put data 0, and this will take us to column name, like so, underscore name. Okay, pretty good. All right, so we can check this function if it actually works. So here I'm just going to say get primary key, and I want to read from this. This is the model.php. So let's see where exactly we are adding the model from the init page. So inside core, let's look for, wait a second, where is the init? Oh, it's auto load, isn't it? So right after model.php, I just want to test what's happening here. So I'll put die over here, and I just want to say model is equal to, let's just say new model, like so. And then I will say echo model get primary key, get primary underscore key. Or was this the best use of things? The problem is, let's go to model.php. We don't actually have a table in here, so wrong place to do this completely. So I'm just going to undo. After I copy those guys, let's undo here for a second. Let's try this directly in the home.php. Let's go to this point. Actually, what page are we on? This is the tech test, so maybe let's just do it from there. I can use any of these models, which will be okay. So I'm just going to copy this one right under here and die. We will undo this, of course, and I want to echo tests and say get primary underscore key, and of course I need to give it the table name, so it would have worked even on the other side. So the table I want to get from is tests, like that. So save this and let's just refresh the page. Call to protected method, right? Okay, so let's remove the protected for a second here so we can access it as a public function. Let me refresh, and you see it shows us ID over there. Very good, which means things are working. Let me remove this return ID here just to make sure that we are returning from here. So let's refresh, and you see it's still there. So which means this part is working just fine. So let's undo that and that, yes. So this is working fine. Let's come back here and undo what we have done here as well. Okie dokie. So with this new function now, we can just get a primary key to any of these. So you see it says order by ID right there. So instead of that, what we will say is, so there's column here, we can add our very own key. So I'm just going to say primary underscore key, just so we know what this is. So primary key is equal to get primary key, and the table should be this table. So copy and put it there, and that's it. So we have our primary key over here, and we'll use the order by primary key right there. Okay, so this is for whether it's descending or ascending, and this is the primary key over there. Okay, cool. So we're on the where clause here. We can put that on first as well because we have ID there, as you can see, and we can put that here as well on find all. And where else do we have a reference to ID? No, these ones are okay. It should be only for the order by section. Now, since we've put primary key here, we have to copy that other code as well that has primary key. So copy that, bring it here as well. But otherwise we won't have primary key. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot something. We have to put this here like so. Otherwise we'll have problems. So copy that. So this is there because we are referring to a function that resides in the same class. So let me put this one here as well. Yeah, and where else? This one as well. Let's do this. Yes, primary key, this table. Okay, so that does it. Everything there is cool. Now let's come back and try to refresh our page. We see that nothing has been broken here so far. So that's okay. Now let's map these answers to this content here in the next video.